is the Dana Loesch Show. We talk about stuff.
It's a new week, and the Sunday shows have set the narrative already. The situation in Yemen, it's totally fine. Come on. A U.S. naval carrier is heading towards Yemen to stop an enemy bent on arming rebels that would destroy America if they had their way. Stay safe. Keep your head down. The president naively believes that we can just give Iran whatever they want as long as we have, quote, snapback sanctions. In other words, he thinks that we can suddenly and easily reinstate sanctions should Iran break the terms of the eventual deal. I wish I were making this up. It's completely insane. Like, we're friends with them, but now we're against them. But less than 24 hours after ending the whole Operation Decisive Storm, Saudi Arabia has resumed airstrikes on Yemen. The war-torn Middle East country, once called a success in the war on terror by the president, held up as the model of anti-terrorism just a couple of weeks ago by Josh Earnest during a White House press conference, is being ripped apart by civil war. What's worse, there are American citizens trapped inside Yemen.
And the fact that the U.S. isn't willing to put the U.S. military on alert to extract U.S. citizens from Yemen is just preposterous. I mean, how can it be too dangerous for the U.S. military, which is built for combat operations, to engage in some kind of a rescue operation of Americans in Yemen? So I'm kind of befuddled by the whole thing.
You are on the precipice of a major international crisis here if those ships decide not to return to Iran and to try to enter a Yemeni port.
It's easy for the media to focus so much on Republican candidates because it gives the press opportunities to try and trip them up with gotcha questions. The question was posed, why is the Democrat field so old? Have you noticed this? I mean, think about it. Hillary Clinton, Lincoln Chafee, really? Like, Lincoln Chafee makes the kids go wild. What if you had your home under siege by police who poured into your house in the middle of the night while your children are sleeping after demanding that you open your door? They verbally abuse you, bark orders at you as though you're some kind of suspect, and then ultimately seize your possessions and then tell you not to tell anybody what has happened. And the people that it happened to were guilty of nothing more than exercising their First Amendment rights and supporting conservative causes in Wisconsin.
When you talk about it, you think, well, that's the kind of thing that happens maybe to meth dealers or violent criminals. This was something that was done, it appears to be, as a pure intimidation tactic to try to terrify conservatives into silence.
In what reality does this make sense? That, ladies and gentlemen, is the face of Glenn Beck, my boss, at the American Country Music Awards.
The lesson is, do not put me anywhere near the front of the stage because I bum out the performers.
Yeah, see, stick you in the back, or just pull that Stetson down.
Yeah, man, I would hate somebody like me in the front if I was performing. But then awful, you'd be like, this guy was in the second row. He hated it.
Am I mistaken in thinking that the entire green energy is just totally propped up by cronyism?
It would not have survived as long as it has if it was not for cronyism. You get into bed with the government, and then they have the right to do these things. Why do they have the right to get involved in our electricity? Because the electricity is already subsidized. It's already in a situation where the government's got its hands deep in it.
We need to go and stop the government. Enough with the sarcasm and government talk. This is devastating.
There's no doubt that police training can often play a role in repairing the problems that have plagued the relationship between citizens and police nationwide. But when training involves tips, dramatic air quotes, that boil down to, I mean, legitimately, don't be racist, are we really solving anything? This is called Dunk. It's called Dunk. It's a giant trash bin. And it has a face made from the tears of children. Do you think that they used focus groups for this, Patrick? I mean, I joked about it, but you never know.
From the looks of things, I don't think so.
There's some things you just don't need to do, honey.
And I don't know about you guys, but my celebrations of Earth Day include leaving all the lights on in my house, eating everything off styrofoam, and just dumping trash all over the place. It is not a Photoshop, and that's not a joke. It is a very serious matter.
The truth is the truth. If your beliefs don't coincide with the truth, you need to change your beliefs. I'm not changing the script. I don't know how many more are going to walk out, but the play will go ahead. I'm not going to promote fairy tales.
I mean, is there any greater joy? Yes. Yes, there is.